Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
On September 29th, 2024, a small asteroid will temporarily become Earth's second moon. From the breathtaking landscapes of Nepal, you'll have a prime viewing spot for this extraordinary event. Though it might be too small to see with the naked eye, it's a fascinating opportunity for astronomers to study.
This is super cool. So any stargazers, amateur astronomers, anybody with a telescope, we're going to be able to see this in a week. And it's supposed to be visible for like 2 months.
Dawn of our civilization, all the way to the time of this breaking news, we humans believed that everything that exists up there is only what we can see with our eyes and with our optical instruments. Well, things have changed now because we have established the existence of entities existing in our terrestrial environment. And these entities are completely invisible to our eyes as well as to our optical instruments, but are fully visible with new instruments, therefore dramatically enlarging our conception of the perceivable universe with far-reaching possibility of future development and discoveries that perhaps are beyond our imagination at this time.
The revolutionary Santilli telescope is designed to detect antimatter in deep space. By antimatter, we mean an entity with characteristics that are the exact opposite of ordinary matter, including the index of refraction of light.
We discovered that our telescope can equally detect entities in our terrestrial environment that are completely invisible to our eyes, to our binoculars, or to Galileo telescope, but they are fully visible in cameras attached to our telescope, for which reason we call them invisible terrestrial entities, ITE.
So I hijacked this clip from our friend Sam Fisher. I will leave a link to the full video down below. It's like 5.5 minutes and it is amazing. It explains how this Santilli scope works. It's incredible. They found them. The transdimensional light beings. You know how excited I am about that. Check out this next clip. It shows it in action.
Not overlapping, they're just coming next to each other. Not too tight, just firm only.
Now those are precision mounted so that the two telescopes are parallel.
Okay.
That's our primary. Not only the hedge is the same at the same level, but they are parallel. Very, very important for pictures, as you will see in a moment.
While I was expecting something a little more fantastical than little blips and blobs, I'm still pretty excited about this technology. That's incredible.
This powerful healing technology is being hidden from us. It's called a scalar device and it generates the Earth's natural frequency, also known as the Schumann resonance 7.83 Hz. This powerful frequency is so grounding, it's used to restructure water for better hydration and healing. This is how restructured water affects your blood cells. It's so easy to use. Just plug it into a power bank, wall socket, or laptop. The flashing blue light shows the frequency is being emitted. Then place your water on top of the device. It'll take at least 20 minutes to restructure the water. And when you drink it, you'll instantly taste and feel the difference it has on your mind and body. You can even use it to charge and cleanse your crystals and jewelry.
What a nifty little device. Does anybody out there have one of those, or have you used one? And does it make you feel, better when you use it? As far as technology being hidden, it's not really being hidden. It's just, being stifled a little bit, not mainstream. And it's kind of being labeled as snake oil.
So apparently we're involved in intergalactic trade with our boys from up there. But what are we interested in? Military tech? Of course, medical tech. Maybe some textile goods. Maybe some intergalactic Snickers bar. But what are they interested in? What do we have to offer? Well, apparently they're still interested in us. Us. And we are being traded for some of these goods by some not so nice people. On top of that, we have one of the best exports in the universe. You want to know what it is? Goes back thousands of years. We're experts in it now. What could it be?
I hate to leave you hanging, but I got left hanging too because I don't know what it is. Why don't you let me know what you think it is down in the comments? Hell, if you got anything to say, let me know in the comments because I love talking to y'all. And if you're having a good time, won't you hit that like button for me? Consider subscribing and then come back tomorrow because I'm making a new episode every day.
And as you fly down and over, there is a control tower where they control the air traffic. As you fly around this base to make your final approach, you see a secondary crater. And as you fly down into that crater, it's fairly deep, and you end up popping out into a lava tube section where you immediately see a giant building built into the middle of that lava tube that blocks it. And it's built kind of like the shape of a bell. And it looks like the outside of a battleship almost, the way it's built. You then fly in and land in the bay, and you're now at the Lunar Operation Command.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I could buy it. I think there's totally weird stuff going on the moon. Wouldn't surprise me if there actually was a base on the moon. Remember, we talked about how 10 years before we even went to the moon, right? They had plans for this moon base. So who's to say it's not already there?
Dr. Ning Li went missing after discovering anti-gravity. Her colleague at NASA stated that her device could be used as a shield and anti-gravity. The government gave her and her research team $500,000 to continue researching. But in 2002, she went missing and hasn't been found ever since.
Yet another case of somebody discovering something so incredible and just disappearing. Wait a second. Maybe the government has her. So maybe all of these people who are disappearing, not the ones that are just going and being found, right? Being found, no longer with us, but they're just like all gathered together in like some super secret base somewhere doing all their dirty work. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't think of that sooner. And this is why we had Operation Paperclip. If you're not familiar with Operation Paperclip, it's where after World War II, Americans and Russians, went to Germany and started taking all of their top scientists and smart people to come back and work for us. I mean, we gave them an option. Russia just freaking took them.
We are facing major shifts. I'll mention 3.
Do you guys hear the subtext in that? This is the labor market. That's important to the 1%. They can't control us anymore. The energy market. Well, what's happening there? Free energy is coming down the pike. They know it. All the 1%ers know that free energy, they cannot stop it. It's happening. And the third one is climate change. That's a fear to try to get us all into line. This will line up. We will fix this. This right here is amazing news for the people. It really is. I'm excited. I am optimistic. When I hear someone that is that high up in the 1%, that stressed, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign for the people. I love you guys.
This is exactly why I think the World Economic Forum is even a thing, because it's these ultra rich, super, the 1% folks, right, getting together and trying to coerce the world to shape it in a way that benefits them so that they can remain the 1%. Now, I sure hope that this free energy is coming about because electricity bills suck.
Listen, man, I'm not saying that the dollar is going to crash tomorrow, Maybe not even in the next year or 2 years, maybe in the next decade, but it's coming. And BRICS, they trying their damnedest to make it happen as fast as they can. And we got a lot of distractions, just like today. This came out today. But guess what else happened today? We had this whole cyber, tech explosion that happened today. And it's drastic. It's global. It's a big deal. But also BRICS. News coming out too, and it's flying under the radar. You gotta watch what they put in front of you. If they tell you what they want you to see, then the other stuff fly under the radar. And I think this is way more important.
Now, being in the fantastic bubble that I've been in for so very long, I don't know what BRICS is. And I don't know what he's talking about. That happened in July. And even while I was paying attention to things, this flew under my radar. So I'm going to pull a few and see if I can find a little bit of explanation about what the hell is going on.
Analyst calls BRICS a superpower. The BRICS alliance is looking to uproot the US dollar's harmony and replace it with the local currencies. The bloc wants to stop using the US dollar to settle cross-border transactions and is aiming to push local currencies ahead. BRICS wants to become a superpower and challenge the US and other Western allies in the global financial sphere. Now, how many sectors in the US will be affected if BRIC ditches the dollar for trade? 3 US sectors definitely stand to be directly affected if BRICS dumps the dollar for trade. The move will flood the American markets with dollar bills, leading to hyperinflation in the homeland. Experts say BRICS is also a superpower in the energy sector. Marco Fernandez, a researcher at the Tricontinental Institute of the Public Research, noted that BRICS constitutes 45% of the world's oil reserves and 56% of the gas reserves. He wrote that the BRICS is a superpower in the energy sector, and the US and the Western allies don't even come close, he says. Fernandez explained that BRICS member Russia alone accounts for half of the world's production of enriched uranium. In addition, Russia and China accounted for about 70% of the global uranium production. Therefore, the BRICS bloc is well equipped in the energy sector and is a superpower, he said. Energy is probably the key asset for industrialization. If you don't have energy, you're out of the game. The BRICS countries, with their combined energy capabilities, have become a superpower in energy, said Fernandez. The expert stressed that the BRICS countries surpass all G7 nations in renewable energy. Brazil, China, and India combined produce more renewable energy than all the G7 countries, he said. And now, if Saudi Arabia joins BRICS, alliance will further strengthen its grips on the global oil and gas sector. Saudi Arabia has yet to accept the invitation and become a part of the grouping. The kingdom is evaluating the pros and cons before accepting or rejecting the invitation. But South Africa says that they had joined already. The future will definitely unfold that story too.
So economics is not my strong point, and I'm happy to admit that. But it seems like these countries in this BRICS, whoever they are trying to undermine the US dollar, which would be bad for everything for the United States. It would make our dollar less valuable. I did a bit of research, so let me read something real quick. You know me. So it would weaken the power of US sanctions, leading to a further decline in the dollar's value. So that's crazy. But who's BRICS? Who's in BRICS?
What is BRICS? What is their purpose? Meet BRICS, a powerful alliance formed by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These emerging economies are driving global growth. BRICS nations have a simple goal: to increase their influence in world affairs. They want a bigger say in global decisions. They do this by encouraging commercial, political, and cultural cooperation. BRICS strengthens ties, creating opportunities. Their combined GDP is astounding, accounting for nearly 25% of the global total, a force to reckon with. So keep your eyes on BRICS. They're shaping our global future right now.
I love learning new stuff, and that is a fantastic thing to know. It's like this group of countries that are like, hey, we control all the power, let's be friends and, overthrow everything else. Well, not necessarily overthrow, but definitely put a damper on everybody else.
So some truly amazing footage put out by YouTube channel Jean-Michel Tenek. Amazing. Now, look at the shadows that these objects are casting on the moon. These objects are huge. Could they be the same tic-tac objects that we have seen in our atmosphere that during the Nimitz incident? Could they be the same craft? Where do these crafts come from? Is there activity going on the dark side of the moon? Do they come from there? Is there a base on the dark side of the moon? Could they be our crafts? Now, it reminds me of another video that I posted a while back. Now, this was posted a couple years ago, and it shows 4 large crafts that disappear on the backside of the moon. And where do these crafts come from? Now, it's hard to tell if these are the same shape because it's from such an odd angle and distance. Could these be the same crafts? Could there be some type of port or spaceport or some kind of facility or base on the dark side of the moon that these crafts are going to or currying from?
I've never seen either of those clips before, and that's incredible. It looked so real, like the way the shadows come across. I hope they're authentic because we're just talking about a base on the moon. And I mean, there's so much weird stuff going on the moon anyway. So that's freaking cool. Are you on Facebook? Because I am on Facebook and I'm a member of several different conspiracy theory groups and they post beautiful information every single day. I recently came across this page, Time to Wake Up. That's right. It's time for this week's shameless plug. Not only do they have this awesome page, but they also have a YouTube channel, Time to Wake Up 23. They started about a year ago and then hit pause for a little bit, but I hear they're going to start posting stuff again. And I poked around their content a little bit and it's pretty neat. So if you wouldn't mind, head on over to Time to Wake Up 23 and give them a little bit of your time. I think you'd enjoy it. Thanks so much for sticking around for this week's shameless plug.
Did this man discover a secret space program? Between 2001 and 2002, Gary McKinnon, a British hacker using the alias Solo, hacked into several US government computers. He even managed to shut down a network of military computers in Washington for a day, which was the biggest military computer attack of all time. While McKinnon was causing problems, he was also looking for something. During interviews, he stated that he was looking for covered-up free energy and alien technology. According to his story, he found a folder containing information about a secret space program called Solar Warden, along with photos of UFOs. However, the most interesting detail is when he hacked into NASA, he claimed to have found a spreadsheet titled Non-Terrestrial Officers, with a dossier of space-based personnel and ships named after Majestic 12 members. He was finally caught and faced extradition to the United States, but in 2012, the charges were dropped. But the question still remains, does Solar Warden really exist?
Yeah, I totally believe that those things very potentially do exist. But why did they drop the charges?
In 2007, a suspicious image appeared on Google Earth. It showed what seemed to be a cave entrance with stairs leading into it. The ground around the entrance was discolored, suggesting machinery had been moving in and out. This opening was about 250 feet wide. A few months later, the image disappeared from Google Earth. However, around 2019 or 2020, the cave entrance reappeared. Oddly, despite being a decade newer, the resolution was worse, raising suspicions of a cover-up. Speaking of cover-ups, on April 13, 2002, the Free Republic News reported that the U.S. denied claims of spectacular ruins in Antarctica captured on video. A TV crew from Atlantis TV had gone to Antarctica to investigate a rumored massive archaeological dig 2 miles beneath the ice. The crew vanished, but Navy rescuers found their camp and some equipment, including a videotape. 2 Navy officers showed the footage to scientists at McMurdo Base. The tape reportedly showed spectacular ruins and other details they couldn't disclose. A secret U.S. military expedition had apparently discovered an ancient pyramid temple complex 2 miles beneath the ice. The military blocked the release of the tape. Atlantis TV sued for their property, but lost and went out of business a few years later. Odd images continue to pop up on Google Earth. One showed what appeared to be an alien face, reminiscent of the face on Mars. Another image seemed to depict a spaceship crash site. People noted its shape was similar to Oumuamua, the first known interstellar object to pass through our solar system, spotted in October 2017.
I don't think we will ever know what exactly is going on in Antarctica. Everything is just being hidden from us, and once it does pop up, they're like, oh, hide that real quick, because they can do that.
Now, I've never seen a coin like this, and it's pretty weird to me that our government has finally admitted that there are aliens and UFOs in outer space. So the story is a bunch of guys found these coins in Egypt, okay? They found a bunch of alien coins, a bunch of different coins that have extraterrestrial looking figures on them, and they are definitely sculpted a lot different than our coins. Looking at the back of this coin, to me, that looks like a UFO. I'm not sure, but it definitely isn't anything that's from this planet. So as I was researching these different alien coins, I came across this particular article saying, could these creepy coins prove that aliens lived among the ancient Egyptians? To me, I'm wondering, do aliens live among us right now? Mind you, it was only 7 years ago when they found these coins, so that's not that long ago. Could these coins have possibly been here for over hundreds or thousands of years?
As much as I want to scream yes, I just found that first coin on Amazon, and you can buy it for $5. So, not so much.
This video demonstrates how a higher dimension interacts with a lower dimension. Consider the green laser to be our two-dimensional world. The 3D printed piece is a higher dimensional object. The outline of the person created by the laser is what people see in the 2D world as a 3D object moves through it. Since the 3D object appears to be 2D as it moves through the 2D world, the same can be assumed of a 4D object appearing as 3D.
So does that kind of explain like how people see apparitions? Because they're like fourth dimensional beings, right? Or trans-dimensional beings coming through into our 3D world. Maybe.
Remember, a human being can only see in a very small spectrum of light. So what we're seeing right now is literally just part of the hologram. There's trillions and trillions of electromagnetic waves passing in you, through you, and out of you at this existing very moment right now as I'm speaking. That's all everything is electromagnetic waves. That's all that really exists. Besides that and consciousness, those two things collapse together and create what we call matter. We can't see these other waves of light, but they're there. But what's happening is if the DNA in your body is oscillating at a specific frequency that matches a frequency of an electromagnetic wave that's already out there, you can download information from that wave. What do waves carry? They carry information. Electromagnetic waves carry information. What I'm giving you guys is real peer-reviewed science. Write it down and go look it up and research it.
I never really thought of it that way. That's a pretty good explanation of basically what we see.
The human eye can only see 430 to 770 terahertz. If we could see more, what would we see? Extraterrestrials? Light beings? Very psychedelic imagery? The possibilities! It's truly amazing to think what we might see. So don't dismiss the possibility that we may be able to see and contact spirits already. So please, oh please, it's obvious.
I'm pretty sure it's a healthy obsession, but I do love the science of sight and light spectrums and everything like that, and how it can bring things together and make sense of certain things that we would normally consider impossible.
This scientist invented a way to see the demons. In the 1920s, a scientist named Walter Kilner was trying to make night vision goggles. He poured a blue dye called dicyanin over a glass screen. When he put it on, he realized that it was blocking out most of the white light, and through it, people could see the auras of each other. The chemical was then made illegal, but the military quickly weaponized it, creating the first ever pair of night vision goggles. However, during the Vietnam War, things took a dark turn. When the helicopter pilots were given these goggles, chaos soon followed. The pilots began shooting at each other, saying they were shooting the demons that were coming after them. They even described their experience as looking into hell. At first, the officer in charge didn't believe them, but after that, the same things happened each time they were put on. Eventually, the officers and pilots were told not to wear these goggles again.
Well, we started off with talking about these beings. It's rather fitting that we end that way as well. I think they're totally there. And it's kind of cool that there are different ways that we can actually potentially see them, like man-made stuff. And maybe they're doing that too, and that's how they're getting over here. Just a theory. It's just a theory. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.